Este programa tem o patrocínio Amália in America, TAP Air Portugal, Hotel Praia Sol, Luís Firmini Insurance, Jornal Luso Americano, Go Kart Service, MCM Clinic, Coimbra Restaurant, Top Burger, Quarta Gala, Rádio Corações de Portugal.
Hello. Welcome back to Goal In International for our weekly Yap session. Today I have Brandon and Arun with me. Welcome, fellas. Welcome back. It's always a pleasure to yap with y'all about soccer.
Yeah, pleasure to be back.
How's everybody doing?
Not great.
What's going on, Jonathan?
Liverpool's playing at the level they've been showing all season. It's finally catching up to them. And yeah, we were talking a little bit about it before, but just a complete lack of balance in that team. Completely. Even the defensive players, their like natural instinct is to go forward and to be in like the opposition third, whether it's Frimpong or Kirksey's, to drill in the ball. And like you only really have Van Dijk at the back, Konate, whose head is in Spain already, it seems, you know what I mean? And then the young Argentinian, Italian kid gets injured and tears his ACLs out for the season.
We have Joe Gomez.
And Joe Gomez, I love Joe Gomez, but like, he's another one. He'll play for a game and get injured and is out for like 3 or 4 months, you know? And like, it's, their weaknesses are definitely being shown at the moment, you know what I mean? They don't look as solid as a team as they did last year. And obviously, it's easy to say now after 3 losses on the bounce, but even before that, when they were winning, they looked like a shadow of the team they were last week in terms of like how they were as a unit, you know what I mean? And you could kind of see it coming because I feel like that low-key happens every time you have major upheaval in the summer. Yeah. And like no matter, you can have 8 Galacticos come in, but it's always going to be that like bedding in period, you know what I mean? And I think they have quality to turn it around, but it's definitely starting to raise some alarm bells, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, three consecutive losses are troubling, right? But if you look at it really good, I mean, one of them came against Crystal Palace. That team is in incredible form. And it's a last-minute loss, right? Like, I think we had touched on it. The way they were winning games was pretty unsustainable.
Yep.
You can't continue to keep scoring in the 90th. So that's why I think it's still normal. It isn't really time to sound the alarm per se, but they've had defensive woes all year. Probably starts with the signings they've made up top, in that like Isak isn't completely fit just yet.
Right.
Gakpo is not the same defender that a Luis Diaz is per se. Salah's getting older. So, and also when the attack isn't necessarily clicking and you're not scoring 4 goals.
I think part of that too is because I feel like every signing, they all play like the same position. Like Itike and Isak occupy the same part of the pitch. Not just generally as a striker, but more to the left, and like you know what I mean. Verts, same thing, you know what I mean. Like the same positions as like Szoboszlai had last year, and like likes to get forward and take shots. And I feel like we have too much congestion in certain positions and bare bones in others. You know what I mean? And that's starting to definitely, and especially when you're a club who plays in 4 competitions.
Yeah,
you should be better prepared than that. You know what I mean?
You go from Palace to Galatasaray in Turkey.
Which is always a hard game to play in Turkey, for sure. But like, it's no excuse, though. You know, like that's a team that Liverpool should be beating. You know what I mean? Sure. No disrespect to Galatasaray, but Liverpool, respectively, is levels above that. And if you want to make a statement, like last year, did they win every game in the Champions League up until they lost to PSG?
I don't remember if they won every game, but they stayed in first.
They were in first the whole time.
In the group stage.
To be fair, that's hard to sustain. Also, no matter how good you are as a team, but
I think Gala's gotten results against every Prem team that's each last 4 Prem teams that have gone there. They've either drawn or won. So they're a tough opponent.
The atmosphere there is crazy.
Yeah,
you know, like
when you
makes sense.
But I mean, Kirkes hasn't been good. He's been a disappointment so far.
I would say so.
But I also think, kind of like Rui said, Luis Diaz, the way he would press is very different than what Gakpo does.
For sure. You can see it now
as
at Bayern,
bad
too.
as Darwin was for Liverpool, he was also a very different forward than what they have now, and another guy
For
who
sure.
just wouldn't stop running, and he would kind of make something out of nothing. I'm not saying he would end up scoring, but he would
Right, but he would make
create
the chance,
chaos.
though. Right. Chaos ball.
And especially late in games when they need to start pressing, and Darwin would go in, and Diaz was still in, and like when Diogo Jota was going in, like those are all very different players than what's coming off the
Right,
bench for them
compared-
now. And then as bad as it's been, like I think the thing that can worry you also is your best right back this year has been Soboslai. Like,
Which is very worrying.
Hasn't been Frimpong, and it hasn't
Yeah.
been Connor Bradley. It's been
Right,
Soboslai.
which Connor
when he's
Bradley
played.
showed so much promise last
Yeah,
year.
and he hasn't been good, and neither has Frimpong has not been good either. And he gets caught out forward a ton of times, and like you said, I think Konate has his head somewhere else. He's been one of the worst Liverpool players so
I think
far.
so too. He's been a shadow of the player, and I don't even think he's fully reached his potential because
No, I think he's a great player.
He's a great player,
He
but-
starts for France, and that's a tough place to start.
for sure. I think he would start at Madrid too whenever he eventually goes.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, Konate is fantastic. It's strange what's happened. I think it kind of shows you why they were trying to sign Gahey.
Yeah.
I think another person that people are a little disappointed, or they're disappointed with both of them really, is Connor Bradley and Frimpong. I think Slot's been unhappy with Frimpong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I can't
for
believe
sure.
Soboslai has been their best right back.
Yeah,
the
right.
3 games, 4
Unbelievable.
games that he's been playing.
And
there, 'cause-
Bradley showed so much promise. It seems like he's put on a bit of weight. It could be muscle even, but he doesn't look to be the same.
But then, and then that's what you're saying. So like Frimpong gets caught up a ton, and he's as bad as Trent was. Trent, like next to him, kind of seems like he's a way
right,
better
I mean, Trent
defender.
would
right?
like bust his ass to get back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
So
and
it's-
I'm not fully seeing that from Frimpong. Not to discredit because he runs back obviously, but it's not the same like tenacity running back. You know?
Yeah, he wants to be a right winger.
Right,
Which is good
right.
news for them once they get, once Salah moves
Right,
on.
but for that,
It's
it's
also,
like,
I mean,
should have bought her.
so like Alonso's playing now with 3 in the back. He did a ton of times last year with Leverkusen, and in that formation, you can use Frimpong as
of course.
Right, but
wing
then you
back.
have 3 center backs to cover.
Correct. So if he's a wing backer at wing back, he can be way more effective than he is as a right back, where he has to do a lot more defensive work. But
I don't
I think the big
I
troubling
don't
thing
see
is
Liverpool ever going to.
3. No.
Nah.
I mean, they don't even have 3 center backs.
Right. Yeah, true.
But I think that also worrying is they've had 9 goals conceded in 7 games, and
Right.
like last
Very
year,
leaky.
you would think about like a very organized team that doesn't concede too many chances, that would score a ton of goals. They would get bailed out. I mean, a ton of times by Salah being great.
Right.
And he hasn't been great this year. But overall, the team just doesn't look good, and it's just very weird. Like they were winning all those games late, and now they've lost
All of them.
2
late,
of the last 3.
essentially.
Is like
late.
very late, like last kick of the game late.
Yeah.
Is there a concentration, something going on there?
Yeah, honestly, like
Slot
I
is
kind
going
of
everywhere.
not to point fingers, but like I feel like it kind of started happening when they went to Ibiza during the camp while the like league was still going. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
granted,
when they
you
lost
won.
focus.
I get that you won, but it's like, dude, during the season, like I get it, it's a boss and like flex or whatever, but I don't know. From then forward, it kind of seems like
They were not focused.
right. You know what I mean? Like, because like the whole Konate thing, I feel like didn't really. I don't remember hearing anything about it last year until the end of the season. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, yeah, I think that was never like a real thing, and then
right,
all of
right.
a sudden,
So like I don't know, maybe like their head started getting turned, or like maybe they felt like they won everything they could at the club, which some players could feel like that. Like Trent could feel like that. He's won every competition at the club. You know what I mean? And the Premier League twice. But like other players like Konate, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you, I don't know. I don't know.
I
But
guess-
like that's when I started to see a little bit of like
I guess when
attitude
Madrid
shift, I
comes
guess.
knocking down your door, you don't really have a
I mean that's true too. Yeah,
You don't have
Taylor's
a-
all his time.
right.
Right.
But I mean, it's a very tough, and ultimately, I think Konate is going to be gone, and I think in January they'll sign Guehi. Like
This
I
is
think
what
I think they have to sign
Yeah,
him.
they 100%.
Um,
and it's not
and I
like
think
the
they
old Liverpool teams where you had like players who could fill into a high enough level to get by. You know what I mean? Even
Mm-hmm.
if they weren't like the Jordan Hendersons or the Milners who would drop down to play center back or you
Always
know what I
fill in
mean?
somewhere, right?
Right, like
I still
the-
think there's plenty to be positive about, though.
For
right?
sure,
Like
for
Verts
sure.
has not really hit his stride. Isaac is going to be match fit eventually.
Yeah.
there are plenty of
Ekitike
positives.
has been good.
Ekitike's been great.
He's been he's been great. I think just 'cause
Salah's been very poor. He's probably so there's something there.
Well, that's what I'm
like-
saying. So it has to get better at some point. Right? Like
sure.
they're just too good.
I mean, like as a supporter
not
of
be
Liverpool
bad.
since the banter era, like I've kind of been conditioned not to feel like that. You know what
but
I mean?
I think like this group of players is very
Yeah,
good.
the talent's there for sure.
And I think Slot is very good. So I just think at some point it'll get right. The problem is you got people in London that are not losing games.
Right. And then
Yeah,
you're creating your own. Liverpool's literally creating their own issues at this.
So I mean,
'cause
they were
You're
5.
talking about Man U, right?
No, they've had a 5-point lead
and now they're
disappear
second.
in 7 days, right?
Yeah.
So, and I mean,
And Arsenal's
we
looking good. I know we were
said it.
clowning on Arsenal before,
No, but
like,
we said it, how
we're always
they
laughing
don't-
now because like Arsenal's playing well. You know.
No, well, I wanted to say you said that that Arsenal was poised to compete well in the Champions
Yeah.
League. I was trying to make the point that I like them better in the league because they don't drop stupid games, or pardon me, or dumb games rather. They don't lose to smaller sides, and then they eke out draws, or sometimes they get some wins against the bigger teams. So in a league where Chelsea still seems a little unpredictable, they're a great team, but they're unpredictable. Liverpool is obviously shaky defensively. Arsenal is really in a good position to kind of
Capitalize.
swoop in this year.
Yeah.
But let's see if they bottle it like they always do, which is always what they're.
so
And you
I
can never
just
discount City either. You
Right,
know what I
City is in
mean?
the mix
Like
as well.
they just won. What was it? 4-1, I think, the last game against
City?
Brentford. Or no, was it?
Well,
they won
4-1?
1-0.
They won
1-0.
1-0.
Yeah, it was 1-0.
That was
Against
Brentford.
Brentford.
Brentford, yeah.
That was a little tricky game too. They scored really early, and then you kind of think like, oh, this could be one of those games where they're just gonna run
Like a
away with
rout,
it.
right?
And it was kind of like nothing really happened on either side. Like Brentford wasn't really going for it. They had a chance late. Donnarumma makes a great save, but like you kind of still, well, in my opinion, City are kind of still not hitting their stride either.
No, for sure.
Compared to what
Which is a scary thought.
we
you
thought
know?
they
Right.
were going to be at this point. But if they can, I mean, and they're that good. But if they can hang around with Arsenal and Liverpool for another month or so, eventually, like you said, we've seen it so many times where they just hit their stride and pull off 15 games
Crazy
in a row
runs,
where they're
right,
just
right.
winning games,
Yeah.
right?
You go from leading like by like 12 points to like chasing
yeah, and
by
they're,
12
they're right
points.
behind you.
Yeah.
So I think they'll always be there, and they're that good. It's just kind of something's still kind of missing there too. I don't know
I
what
think
it
so
is.
too. I feel like Guardiola himself hasn't fully like hit his. It just seems like something's off. You know what I mean? I could just be speculating, but
No, I think
it's just the vibe I'm getting
over the
from
last
the team.
2 years. I feel like Guardiola has been kind of all over the place,
Yeah.
and he just seems to be unsure of what's going on. Like I don't know if it's off the field, but a lot of things like seem to be just going through his head, and
I get
every
it.
lineup there's not really like a set 11 for City. It's kind of like Guardiola roulette, especially defensively. Like now Guardiola and what's his name, Ruben Diaz have been playing, but like how many times last year would you see like a random back four, like
Right.
Matheus Nunes started playing right back, and then like
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
experimenting.
right, like Nathan
We're
Ake
seeing-
would just go in, and
We're seeing continuity again.
no, I
which
think
is,
it's I think they're getting to that point now.
Do you think he was like he's going through like a period of like boredom in a
So,
sense? Like
it could
because I
be.
think about it, dude's won everything.
Everything, multiple times.
Where do you go from here, except for like maybe international ball?
The
you know what I
issue-
mean? Like
The issue I saw with last year, there was definitely some issues in the back line for sure, and they were super leaky. They didn't even know which goalkeeper was the
Yeah,
better goalkeeper.
and that was another thing.
right.
And then De Bruyne was becoming washed. He couldn't really play 90 minutes. Foden was having a mental health crisis, so there was no continuity.
Haaland was hurt for a while.
Holland was hurt for a
Right.
little bit. And obviously, like if you're not giving Holland the ball, if you're not putting him in good positions, he's also basically useless.
Yeah, he's
eventually.
not a player that's going to come get the game, right?
Yeah, which is, I guess, Roy Keane's like criticism of him, but please.
I mean, when you score 60 goals a year,
He's awesome.
Yeah, right.
doesn't really matter.
Which he's in the mix, I guess, for this year's Ballon d'Or.
Currently, yeah, I would say so.
But Kane and Mbappe are definitely making the bigger case. But yeah, I think Man City will definitely this year will have more continuity. Foden appears to be in better form, and past whatever he was going through. So I think I think the main teams are Liverpool and Arsenal. Chelsea is in the mix, and City are also right behind.
Definitely top four
So
also.
that's sort of where
I
that's how I
think
see
Chelsea
the league.
is like not right. I think they're under City, but
okay.
under City. So like I think those top three that you said will be the top three, and then Chelsea will be probably the fourth. But like I think the top three are comfortably in the top
Yeah,
three.
and then Sunderland.
and then Sunderland, right? No, Sunderland just lost to.
MNU.
Yeah. Okay. United. Yeah. Well, I think it was.
You think it's a turning point for United?
I don't ever know what's a turning point for United, and
I
that's
mean, he got the backing from.
Radcliffe.
Was that the?
He's always had the backing from
Was he
Radcliffe.
director? I forget.
He's the CEO.
Yeah, it beats me.
Yeah, he's
definitely
higher
making
up,
decisions
sure.
there.
But I think that was important for United fans to hear,
Yeah, for sure.
and for Amorim himself. Not that I don't think he doesn't believe himself, because I think he does, and I think
yeah,
he's
but
a
the
very
last thing you want to
confident guy.
do is like breed like distrust.
No, and
you know
that's what I'm
I mean?
saying. So I think like the fans can now be like, all right, this guy is going to be here. Why not just kind of like get behind him and
Weather
and
the
go for
storm.
it? Yeah, right.
Right,
so
right,
like
It's also mostly for the media. There's the English media. I mean,
it's ruthless. Yeah.
the only other media that I know that's worse than the English one is the Portuguese one. Yeah, they're annoying, right? Like as soon as things start going downhill, Man U is one of those clubs where it's so easy to harp on the manager. And if you honestly go by what the media wants, you're going to sack your manager every 6
Well, and
months.
that was something Radcliffe said. He said, we're not going to, you don't make knee-jerk reactions at a club like Manchester United based off a journalist that week in and week out has a different opinion.
Right.
Exactly.
Which is true.
Which is good to hear after a decade of being that
Yeah,
kind of.
well, so
you know,
they've had
or like not necessarily, I
12
guess, because they do stick it out, but like.
I think they've had 12 coaches in 10 years,
Yeah, oof.
which is a lot, which
Yeah.
isn't like, there's no continuity there. But
True.
and again, there's a lot that United has done well this year. And we kind of like, everyone looks at it in such a bad light, but they're 6 points from the top, even though nobody like talks about that. And they're
True.
4 points
Yeah,
from the
that's
top four,
true.
right? So they're not
That's
like
true.
way off of where everybody else
They
is.
could go on a run themselves and like see themselves surprisingly in the mix.
And if you
know
think
what I
of
mean?
like the start that they've had and the start that City had, and they're kind of like not too far from each other, and we don't really talk about
That's a fair assessment.
Guardiola
I mean,
being
to be
this,
fair,
that.
like
And Amorim every day has been talked about.
that's fair. And like to be
How bad he is.
I never hid the fact that I am very biased and like
Yeah.
I like to hate on Man United. You know what I mean? But no, that's a very valid point though. Like they are like quietly having an okay season, even though it's
So-
been like topsy turvy. You know?
So they've had, so far, first in expected goals, first on shots on target, first in counterattacks, second in touches in the box, third in positional attacks, and they're third in pressing. So like
Right.
those are a lot of
but like
top
I said
stats.
last time, like those are kind of useless stats if you can't finish.
Well, that's
You
what
know
I'm saying.
I mean?
So like, but I think
they're not useless. But if he had a .14 expected goal,
hey, San
against
Marino
Liverpool,
allowed 10 goals today and had a .46 expected goals. They lost
that
10
doesn't
0.
make any sense to me.
They
every
lost
outfield
10-0.
player was
A goal and
involved
assist.
in a goal.
or
Yeah.
assist. They had a goal contribution.
Yeah, but the sort of expected goals really kind of tells you like what kind of attack are you producing.
So and
at least
that's
as
what
a general measure.
That's what I'm
Right,
getting. So
right.
like but a lot of people blame his system and all this and all that. But like something is working there.
Yeah, for sure.
For
Underlying
these advanced
for sure,
metrics
yeah,
to be
yeah.
working, right?
True.
And
And
some things are just chance. Your star player missing 2 PKs is
Correct.
unlucky.
and how many times do you see somebody like just a very bad individual mistake that it doesn't matter if you have
times
the
for United.
best
yeah.
coach in the world.
Yeah,
if
that's true.
If that guy is out there,
That's an X factor.
and I'm
you
just
can't-
watching this guy
Right.
take the ball and score, my coach can't do nothing about
Right,
that
right,
except
right.
take me out of the game. But like, how many times did a goalie mess up? And I think Lamins had a great debut
Fantastic.
on was it Saturday.
Fantastic. Yeah.
He's coming and collecting crosses, and like I saw United fans talking about just him collecting a cross was better
Felt
than
good,
what
yeah.
Onana was, right?
Right.
I think somebody had played
Which
the
is
ball
crazy
back
because
to
now
him,
you,
yeah.
Onana's
was
going
easy.
on a run of his life.
Oh, yeah, Onana's playing
Playing-
good over there too, but
That's right. The
but
Premier
just-
League is a different beast.
just having someone like that back there who you can trust and not just lose you games, because that's what they were losing. Like Onana was losing you games.
Right, and that could explain like the mental fragility of the team itself because it's like you said, you can't trust your keeper
Can't trust
to stop,
anybody.
whether it's a one-on-one or it's a shot or like for your
You
defense to
weren't
step
on.
up.
You
or-
weren't on last week. We talked about their game against Brentford and how they played offside trap at and Harry Kane. Wow.
Maguire.
Harry Maguire was so caught offside, and like you don't even see Igor Thiago and Maguire in the same frame.
Jeez.
And like, there's nothing like, what is the coach gonna do there?
No,
True.
exactly.
Right.
Like, there's just so many individual mistakes where I think now Radcliffe comes out and says like, hey, this is gonna be our guy. We're gonna give him 3 years, which I mean, if United is gonna stay in 14th place again, he's gonna be gone, right?
Right,
Let's
of course,
let's
of
be honest
course,
here,
right.
But overall,
But at least it's a good show of faith.
overall, if this
Yeah.
guy stays 7th, 8th, he's not gonna be gone, and everyone just needs to kind of get
It's an
over
improvement
it.
from last year.
Correct. Everyone just
Right.
needs to get over it, and like, let's see what he does again next year.
Right, right.
But I think that was very important. I think that was a big win for them. Sunderland's been playing good. They were the better team versus Sunderland.
Do you
which
feel
they
like
should be.
Amorim needs to win a some kind of trophy this year, or do you
No.
think they'll still, as long as they show?
I think they need to have like a top 8 season, I think.
Okay.
They're also only in 2 competitions.
Yeah, they're only in the FA Cup
they've
and
run
the
out of
league.
Cup
They
already.
lost the League Cup already.
Yeah, to Grimsby.
To Grimsby. So this team's playing 1 game a week almost all year.
Yeah, it's
Sure,
going to be about the Premier League and playing well and getting results there.
Yeah, you just can't stay whatever they did last year.
Right. 14th is.
And then if we look at it, it just seems like we're all like, not we're all, like I'm just defending United, but
I mean,
towards the end of the
granted,
year-
though, like you made a valid point. Like they're having a quietly okay season, and it's not as shaky as the media
correct.
would make
Towards
it
the end
out
of the
to
year,
see, you
like
know?
you saw these lineups that he was putting out in the Premier League. It was all the academy players and players that weren't going to play in the Europa League because that's what they were going for. Right.
Right.
End up losing in the final. Again, another Onana mistake, but I think it's going to be a lot better this year, and let's see what they do next year. I think this goalie can be good. He looked good. If they can
Still young,
solidify,
right? He's what, like
22, I think, 21.
Okay.
If they could solidify midfielders and not have to play 35-year-old Casemiro in a double
Right,
pivot
right.
midfield, I think it'll help out also.
Sesko's looking better too.
Yeah, he has 2 goals in 2 games. He's scored
Yeah.
back-to-back.
The hold-up play is better as well.
Right.
He's a great
Like
athlete.
you were saying
You're
last
still
week.
waiting for Acuna and Mbuemo to get in some goals. And
Mbemo looked awful against Brentford.
yeah, he wasn't good. Yeah, he was one of the worst players in the field.
Yeah, but new signings always need that like bedding in period.
Oh,
you know,
I
to-
rate Bill. I thought those signings were brilliant for the system. I really like Cunha. I think Mbuemo's had really good games.
Ruiz and Mbuemo enthusiast.
Yeah, I have ulterior
Respect, okay.
ulterior motives. But yeah,
Ruiz
I think
Mbuemo
speaking of
enthusiast.
managers in hot seat, I think Ainge might be the quick.
Oh yeah, he's
going to try to beat Ten Hag's record. About,
So interesting enough, his next game is against Porto, right? So like,
please, I'm going to be rooting for you guys.
so
I really want Ainge to
so
lose his job.
if Porto ends up beating Forest in Nottingham, you can't really look at it any other way. We're like, all right, this
yeah.
guy.
That'd be what, 9 games on the bounce?
8, 9. It's one of those 8, 9.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Where
Every
I mean,
competition.
Winless is
and they
crazy.
they
you
just
know?
haven't been good
Yeah.
either. Like they don't.
Right.
I don't even think
I
it's
mean,
just
you
winless,
said it
they've lost
perfectly.
every game.
No, they've
But
played one. I think.
you said it perfectly the first time we spoke about Ange going. Is like you bought the polar opposite
Yeah.
coach to what the players are used to playing, and
I
how
should
the
have just
club.
traded with Nottingham, with
the West Ham.
with West Ham and gotten Graham Potter. That
I
was
mean,
Right.
it was just like
It's insane.
it was. Just it's as egotistical move as it could have been
Yeah.
from the owner, like
Like a
just
PR
trying to
move.
prove a point.
Right.
Where he's like, I'm better than what's going on at this club,
It's
and
clearly backfiring.
it was just the
Yeah.
opposite.
And here's an SAT word, antithetical
Yeah.
to the team's thesis. Like, this guy is just not the coach that could optimize.
And then you had the
doesn't-
fans.
It's showing,
The fans
too.
after Europa League game that they lost at home against Midtjylland. They were
Champions of Denmark.
were they?
I don't know. They're the best team out of
Copenhagen's best team.
Oh, well. I beg to differ.
So they were chanting for
best
Nuno,
team in our
and they were chanting how Angel's gonna get sacked in the morning because like it's just that bad.
Right, and
they
it must
saying
stink
that
for them
Saturday
too now.
morning.
And it must like stink for them now too, seeing him go to West Ham, and like
Yeah,
he's
you know-
probably gonna steady the ship at West Ham for.
He
all-
is steadying the ship.
Right,
It's
you
gonna
know?
take a while. He drew against Everton, who's been in good form. He drew at Everton, I think.
Everton's been having a great
He lost
season,
to
though.
Arsenal at Emirates, but nobody really has been going to
It was an
Emirates.
honorable loss, right? They
2-0.
2-0.
2-0, one of them was a penalty. So, you know, I mean, not that you can't say, like, oh, you don't get mad at a loss like that because
Can be
every loss is
every
loss. But,
Right,
like,
right.
Emirates is a tough place to play, and Arsenal is one of the best teams in the world right now. So,
Yeah, nobody
Kinda-
could really score against them. So
I mean, they have 2 goals allowed
yeah, it's insane.
off
crazy stat.
free kick from Soboslai and a corner from
The
Newcastle.
XG doesn't lie either.
Yeah,
The
right?
XG is really low.
Crazy stat.
Really low. Opponent's XG. Yeah, Nuno's going to be great. And Nuno, like, I don't know if you've seen him on the presser, if you've seen the clips in training. He seems like a real, like,
I mean, everywhere he
Co-
goes,
like,
everyone loves
team's
to
coach,
play
yeah.
for him.
the guys seem to love him.
And only, like, as
Yeah,
weird
all
as
the
it
way even
is,
back at Wolves.
yeah, as weird as it is, he only, like, gets fired when one of the owners
Beef
thinks
with
they
the
have
owners,
something
right,
over him.
right,
Like,
right.
A little ego, ego
I mean,
trip.
Daniel Levy fired him after they got into it, and he led the
To be
Premier
fair,
League.
though, I don't remember his stint at Spurs being all that.
No, but he was
great.
he was leading, I think, the Premier League for up until like the end of September. Then I think he lost like 2 games in a row, and everyone got pissed, and it was like downhill from there.
Right.
But
true.
the Forest one is the absolute worst, where this guy brought them from
He essentially resurrected the team. right.
relegation, basically, brought them to Europa Conference League, whatever it was. They were in a Champions League spot all year,
Yeah.
ended up going down. They lost the last couple games, and that's where he got pissed. But like, I mean,
The issue is the owner. The owner then went on the pitch and embarrassed
yeah,
him.
and he's like
Right.
showing him out on the
But
field.
like you said, it was ego thing. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I mean-
And that like control, like I'm still your boss type of.
I
and
mean,
I don't know.
You'd never see that in football. I think it was such a bizarre thing to do.
and not like a
I mean, maybe not in
respected
the Prem. I
guy.
still feel like that happens
But
plenty in
like,
football.
what respected
but
coach gets showed out like that?
I honestly can't
Like
remember.
it's awful.
I feel
to
like
see.
sometimes Rui Costa goes into the locker room and does a whole big thing.
Yeah, but you hear of that, like you hear stuff like that way after, like
Yeah.
after it
right,
happens,
like a
right?
week or two later.
And then
right?
like the press conference comes out and everyone somehow heard about it, but like this guy was literally
On
they
the
were
field, right.
recording, running with him,
makes
recording
everybody
him,
look bad.
grabbing him and yelling at him, and Nuno's kind of
Yeah.
like, dude, like not now, right? Like not in the middle of the
Right, right.
field.
Like you're doing my job.
Yeah,
right,
right.
right.
It was just a weird thing, and good for him that he got out of there. I mean, it kind of shows how important he was to that club where
Right, sure.
they can't win a game without him. They don't even
You
look.
think they're going down this year?
No, I think they're too talented to go down. And I think Ainge will get fired at some point, and they'll bring in some offensive coach
Offense or defensive?
defensive coach. And
If they stick with Ainge, I think they could.
oh no, he'll get fired. I think. He'll get
That's
fired.
yeah. I mean, they should fire him. It's embarrassing.
Also,
That's
I
going
mean,
down.
Yeah.
like
Not
Wolves
great.
are really bad.
You think they'll go to Wolves?
They just signed. There's some
Ainge get fired, go to
stability.
Wolves?
Vitor Pereira got a long-term contract.
Oh, that's good.
Look at their next two fixtures. It's
But Wolves are really bad. Burnley is the worst team in the league.
Yeah, I think so too.
but better defensively than Nottingham.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
But they can't win a game.
Sure, fair enough.
Right?
Scott, what is it?
Scott Parker.
Foster?
Scott Parker. Yeah.
So Wolves, Burnley, who's worse?
Leeds maybe.
Maybe Leeds.
Leeds been all right.
Sunderland's better.
Sunderland's better, and they'll continue to get better. And Sunderland at home is tough
I
to
think
play.
I think they're in the mix. I honestly
Really?
think they're in the mix. Yeah, why not?
It also depends on how hard they go into Europa League. Like if they're gonna start playing all these players on Thursday nights and then play
Right,
on
now we're
Sunday,
getting into that point of the season where things start to, you're playing like
every other
2 or 3 times every week,
yeah,
right?
every couple days, every 3 days. I
Right.
think it's gonna be tough.
And then like African Cup of Nations is coming soon,
That's
which
right.
is I think gonna like for certain teams. I don't know. I guess it depends on the teams, but it's definitely gonna shake up some things. You know what I mean? And,
Olaina's gone. He's already hurt.
like Mo Salah might not be having a great season, but that's still a loss to take when he goes to AFCON.
Yeah,
you know
which
what
teams
I
are
mean?
going to lose the most African players here? I wonder. Semenyo's got, or no, Semenyo, is he English?
Chelsea's gonna
He's
lose
from
it.
Ghana.
Wait,
Well,
Ghanaian.
he's plays for Ghana.
Ismail Sarr.
Sarr.
That sucks for
Yeah.
Crystal. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. We should think about that for next
Yeah.
episode.
We should, but Semenyo has been one of the best players in the league.
One could say he's been the best player in the league.
You can argue that he's been excellent.
Fantastic.
He's
player.
having like a Eze effect on Bournemouth. Like he's
Oh, yeah.
like that important to that team.
And he's honestly, he was good at the end of the last season, too.
Yeah, he
he's been like
started-
the best
I
player
mean-
since April, I think.
Even well, like I think that's when everyone like you started actually paying attention to him and like his stats became that good. But he was always not
Effective.
always. Last year, the whole season from the beginning to the end, he was really really good.
You know what it was last season? I saw some statistic about this. He takes a ton of shots. Last year, a lot of those shots were off target.
Yeah.
So he's always fired. But now this year, something's clicked for
Scoring.
him. He is scoring, and the first goal he scored last game was beautiful. I think he took it down the end line
Yes,
and like scored
yes.
the near post or whatever.
I mean, and that's a team that no one really talks about somehow, and they're just
unbelievable coach.
they're just like
not-
a machine. So
Yeah.
they've lost every single person on their defensive, like the back four and the keeper, and they're still winning games.
Yeah.
And if they don't win games, they're just outplaying you and somehow lose the game or tie the game.
Yeah,
But they're in
there's-
what, fourth?
Yeah, let me have a look.
I think they're in fourth, and it's just like they know
Yeah,
what
they're
they're
fourth.
they know what they're doing. They score a ton of goals. They play really well, and I think if a big job opens up in the Premier League, I think he'll be in the mix for that.
What's his name? I'm
Areola.
Who do
forgetting.
you think it would be?
Ariel,
Ariel,
yeah.
Who do you think it would be? Like what
Uh,
club do you think would sack their coach first
That's tough to say.
to facilitate that move? You know?
I think everybody in the Big Six right now is comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
So like that's a problem. Where
It's all well coached too.
so like you have well, let's just go through it. Arsenal is not getting rid of Arteta. Who's in second? City. City's not getting rid of Pep.
Liverpool's not gonna.
Liverpool's not
Unless,
gonna-
I mean, I don't think they
No,
would.
no.
I don't think they would either. But like, you just never know. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
if the really bad play continues,
A lot of PTO.
yeah,
It's good. Slot is good.
Like, I think so too.
Slot.
I don't want it to make it seem like I think we're in some kind of like disaster now. You know what I mean? I don't think so at all. If
And
anything,
then
I think it's just a
also-
blip that needs to be corrected, and you keep moving forward. You know? But
And they're
English
again,
media is
they're
super
just,
dramatic.
They're just too good to not figure it out. But then like the only team I was thinking of was Spurs, and they just got Thomas Frank, and he'll be there for
he's
a while.
doing
He's awesome.
right.
So like,
So I think that's actually why you see these really good coaches, because there's a lot of money in the Prem.
Yeah.
Bournemouth are not poor anymore.
No team
Crystal,
in the Prem is poor.
Sunderland spent
Not
almost
one
200
million.
million.
Yeah, so they're really wealthy. The coaches are really well compensated. We're now seeing like really world-class managers managing middle of the table.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Aston
Carlo
Villa's
Ancelotti
a
went
great
to
coach.
Everton. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Emery
that's where the money is.
Emery won billion Europa League titles. He's coaching Aston Villa when they were about to get relegated. He brought them back up. Glasner won a Europa League and
He's fantastic.
left Frankfurt and went to Palace, and he's been awesome.
it's
So
the
like,
Super League, dude.
it's the Super
You don't
League.
really
know?
see like the, you don't see as many like Sean Dykes.
Yeah.
Well, who are the Allardyce?
Sam Allardyce.
Sam
But
Allardyce. Those,
that
like,
could be
Vic
more.
Fangio.
But that could be more attributed to like England doesn't really produce like world class coaches. You know what I mean? Like
Eddie Howe's fantastic. Right?
I think-
he's probably the best of the bunch.
I also think
But like, name me another one.
the
before
league has
him,
changed
you know?
so much.
Like,
Where like
think that's what it
those
is.
guys are not.
what's the last English manager to win the league?
I would have to ask ChatGPT. I'm not
Right.
sure.
I don't even know what it is either, but I'm assuming it's at least 20 years
But
ago.
I'm not even trying to
You
say.
know?
I'm not even trying to say Allardyce or Dyke are fantastic English managers.
That
I think
style?
I'm trying to say
The
is
Premier League
that
has
that
changed.
archetype of a manager is sort of now no
Obsolete.
longer. Yeah, no longer.
Well, at
effective
that
in the
level,
Prem.
sure. Because if you drop down to the championship, I feel like everybody's like
nobody.
that. You know, like
you don't see
that's
one,
where they all are.
One Premier League game where the team is. The only time I saw it was Burnley in the last like 4 years. Burnley did it to Liverpool, but no team is just sitting back and just not trying to win the game.
Right.
Like
Right, it's rare.
everybody is trying to win the game,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't see that before. And now it's like Sunderland will take the game to you, and they just came up
Right.
in
And
the
they just
championship.
came up. Right.
They have
Right.
the talent to do so.
And that's the thing,
Right.
and they win games. Nobody is afraid of
It's
anyone.
the
in Premier
20th
League.
richest clubs in the world. You know what I
Well,
mean?
and I
Like,
think
except for like maybe some giants in other leagues, but besides that,
That's why also the Premier League, there's no easy games. Like you don't look at the
Right.
fixture and be like, wow, United this week, they probably win like 4 or 5-0.
you
Where
never know.
like
Right. You never
Madrid,
know.
you look at Madrid's schedule, like they could rest a couple guys that win 3-0 today.
Right.
Yeah.
That just
it,
doesn't happen.
it would be interesting to see like who are the top spenders in world football, and I'm pretty sure those mid-table Prem sides are right in the mix.
Yeah, Sunderland.
Oh, for sure. Outside of like the PSGs and the Bayerns,
You're saying
not even Barca
this past
anymore.
summer who was the big spender?
Yeah.
We could see it after
Yeah,
commercial break.
we'll take a break real quick. Stay with us. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about Barcelona losing and Madrid
Madrid.
winning, and we'll talk a little bit about some like individual performances and
Ballon d'Or debate.
some Ballon d'Or debate. Stay with us.
Ah, yes.
Este outono, Nova Iorque recebe uma noite inesquecível. No dia 11 de outubro, no lendário Carnegie Hall, o concerto Amália na América, além do fado, encerra as celebrações dos 40 anos da FLAD. Cristina Branco, Raquel Tavares e Ricardo Ribeiro, acompanhados pela Orquestra Sinfónica Portuguesa em estreia absoluta nos Estados Unidos, celebram a vida e a obra de Amália Rodrigues. Das raízes do fado às canções da Broadway, descubra Amália como nunca antes. Uma produção da Égide, Associação Portuguesa das Artes, em parceria com o OPART, São Carlos e a Fundação Amália Rodrigues. Amália na América, além do fado. Este concerto é uma homenagem à presença de Amália Rodrigues nos Estados Unidos e é uma celebração simbólica de 4 décadas da FLAD ao lado da diáspora portuguesa nos Estados Unidos. 11 de outubro, Carnegie Hall. Bilhetes disponíveis em carnegiehall.org.
Praia Sol. Charme, excelência, clima, qualidade. O melhor valor para tudo que mereces. Férias do Sonho, ponto de encontro. Entre Quarteira e Vila Moura. Praia, gastronomia, vida, momentos, tradição. Descubra seu espaço. Reviva seu mundo. Hotel Praia Sol, afinal, estamos bem perto. chegados ao coração.
De Newark para a MCM Clinic, Braga. A Dona Celeste, que já realizou os implantes e as próteses provisórias, vem hoje colocar o trabalho final, que são as próteses definitivas. Mais um caso de sucesso, mais um sorriso novo e bonito na MCM Clinic. Dona Celeste, já com o trabalho final, os seus dentes definitivos. Obrigado por ter confiado na MCM Clinic.
Precisa de um táxi em Newark? A Go Car Service está aí para si. Desfrute de viagens a apenas $7 em todo o Aeromal. Basta baixar a aplicação para reservar de forma rápida. Serviço para o aeroporto, os nossos serviços fiáveis levam sempre a hora. Os nossos simpáticos motoristas falam 3 idiomas: inglês, espanhol e português. Estão disponíveis para si 24 horas por dia. Escolha entre a nossa ampla variedade de veículos para satisfazer a sua necessidade. Go Car Service, sua viagem de confiança em Newark.
No coração de Newark está um pedaço autêntico de Portugal. Localizado na Market Street, o Coimbra Restaurante é o verdadeiro rei do leitão à bairrada, preparado em tradicionais fornos de lenha. Com serviço no bar, sala e salão para eventos até 100 pessoas, aqui encontra o espaço perfeito para celebrar com amigos e família. Sabores únicos da nossa gastronomia, para matar saudades de casa. Coimbra Restaurante, 637 a 641 Market Street, Newark. Portugal, sempre à mesa.
Boa noite, o meu nome é Lucia Antunes.
E o meu é Angélica Pinto.
Bem-vindos ao Luso-Americano Magazine.
A partir deste momento pode seguir a nossa transmissão em direto nas múltiplas plataformas sociais, quer da WNN, quer do Luso-Americano.
Pouca gente sabe, mas há uma parte de Portugal que não aparece em nenhum mapa. O seu clima é ameno, 22 de máxima e 22 de mínima. O idioma oficial é o português, mas na prática é multilingue. A gastronomia é rica e a sua população é acolhedora. Já recebeu milhões e milhões de visitantes desde 1945. Esta terra faz fronteira com Espanha, Brasil e muitos outros países. Poucos sabem, mas quando entra no avião da TAP está oficialmente em Portugal. Com a simpatia, disponibilidade, iniciativa e atenção de todos os que fazem de cada voo uma fantástica viagem pelo nosso país. TAP, Portugal a voar há 80 anos.
Quarta gala de aniversário da Rádio Corações de Portugal. Sábado, dia 18 de outubro de 2025, o palco do Sport Clube Português vai brilhar com a energia contagiante da banda Era Tóxica. Manic Boys and Girls Club.
Hey, we are the Manic Boys and Girls Club.
We're beyond grateful to be performing at the 4th anniversary for Corações de Portugal Radio in Newark, New Jersey.
It all happens October 18th, and we will see you there.
Participação especial ainda de Nelson Rego. Logo a seguir, em After Party, com animação garantida com o DJ João Conceição. Quarta gala de aniversário da Rádio Corações de Portugal. Mais um grande evento, sempre com a melhor música. E você não vai querer faltar, pois não? Bora lá então.
Welcome back. Hope the break wasn't too long. Help us gain our thoughts a little bit about this Ballon d'Or discussion we're going to have. But before that, let's talk La Liga a little bit. Change of leadership in the league.
Yes, but really wanted to know the top spenders in.
Okay, let's do that first.
In Europe, and 9 out of the 10 teams were from the Premier League.
Yeah, that's
Unbelievable.
How crazy is that? It's Liverpool,
I don't
Chelsea,
joke when I say
Arsenal,
it's the Super League. You know,
Newcastle United, Forest, Spurs, City. Leverkusen was at 9th, and that's because they sold half their team along with their coach.
So they were to spend a lot more.
Yes, and then Sunderland, who just came up from the 2nd division, spent 188 million pounds.
And it was like 160 net or something, 165 net.
165, I think it was.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, like, just for coming up, you get like 100-something mil from the Prem. You know what I mean?
You're
Just
right,
for
there's a
coming
reward
up.
there. Yeah,
I think you get a bigger prize for winning the.
For being promoted.
No, for winning the cup, the promotion cup, like the final, than if you do actually getting promoted in the top 2. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, that's nuts. You probably get more than
because
like
there's
most
so much
leagues in the
TV
world.
revenue. Maybe
there's so much TV
Right.
revenue, and you have 2 games at Wembley.
It's a final technically. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
That makes sense to me. It's crazy though. Like, this is why we say like, easily the 20th richest teams in the world, give or take like 4 or 5 from other countries. You know?
Yeah, and we were curious about this because it just seems like the Prem is like so well coached now, like 1 to 15, like 15 of the 20 teams are really, really well coached. And I'm thinking to myself, we had mentioned 10 years ago, a guy like Glasner or Areola, is that his name?
Areola, yeah.
Those 2 guys would have been swooped up by some big club in the world, easily. But Bournemouth and Crystal Palace are able to keep good coaching, good players. It's a good sign for the
But
league.
even I mean, Glasner in the last 2 years lost Olise, and he's one of the best players on Bayern, and now he lost Eze, who's on Arsenal, and he's still winning games.
Probably tells you that the club is like really good up and down.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean they're
also creating
very
talent.
stable. I think everyone's fully bought into what Glasner's doing, and I mean, how could you not? He's went on a 19-game unbeaten streak,
Right.
which just ended now because Jack Grealish is that good. But
Became reborn. He's being reborn this
that's
season.
right. But
The guy
Everton
scores when he's not even shooting.
That's
He's
right.
like a
when
tackle,
he
he's
just has to
critical.
be there now.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
It's
Everton, Everton at home, I don't think they've lost yet in their new stadium. And that's one coach who I thought would have been phased out by now. And he's kind of revolutionized himself.
Everton's been a surprise for me this
He's
season.
changed the way he's been playing. They were very boring the last 10 years of Moyes' coaching, even when he was on West Ham.
Even
They
with the
won-
other Hollywood coaches, it was the same kind
Yeah,
of.
but like Moyes was always like, if you're going to be solid defensively, we're going to pump it up to, when they had Fellaini up top, and they're going to pump it up top to Fellaini, we're going to knock it down and somebody's going to score.
Surprised
And,
it
like,
didn't work at United.
and it's they've changed everything. They've got some very interesting. I don't think they have any like elite players, but they have a lot of good players.
Yeah.
And I think if they can get a striker in January, they'll be very comfortable.
Yeah. And they make their fans proud. Every team that goes there it needs to really think about and prepare like for that matchup against Everton.
The atmosphere is always
sort of a thing that Kiwior said, the new best center back in him and Bednarik at Porto. Kiwior was like, the Premier League is just a different beast. Every stadium
for sure, yeah.
is this unbelievable ambiance and environment. Every game is difficult. It's a fantastic
Well,
league.
you have-
That's why we talk about it so much, honestly.
Well, you have every stadium's always sold out, like Championship also. You'll never go to a game where it's like 50,000 people and capacity and like 30,000 people.
Right.
Like everyone is always there, and those guys are like.
Which is crazy,
That's
too,
my
because like
team,
the
that's my
ticket
team.
prices in England are high compared to like a lot of other countries, you know. So
Yeah.
it goes to show how scary it must be to like travel. No, it doesn't matter what stadium you go to, you know that support is there regardless.
Always there.
Yeah.
But Barca,
Yeah, a bad loss to Sevilla.
Surprising. I was not expecting a 4-1 loss.
So I mean, they allowed 2 quick goals in the first half. The Spanish league's so funny. Rashford played well, and then like you lose 4-1, somebody on Sevilla's got to win a man of the match. And Rashford won the man of the match.
Rashford won man of the match.
Yeah, like, dude, like, you lost 4-1. Right?
Like,
Like,
yeah, give it to him.
Right?
But did he score like a hat trick or?
No.
4-1. He
Yeah,
scored one goal.
Right. So like, how do you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right,
So,
like,
I know Sevilla's goalie, Vlaco Dimos, he played well. He saved Lewandowski's penalty.
He's unbelievable.
And it's funny, he gave him like a number 2 because when he was on Benfica, he saved Lewandowski's penalty.
No
nice.
way.
I love it.
With,
I love it.
So he did it
I love
twice.
the banner.
And like,
He's a guy that actually really came up in big moments for Benfica frequently. He was awful in the
I also
Prem.
felt like he was like,
He was a
I
part
never
of
heard
one of the-
Benfiquistas like sing his praises when he was at the club. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
Vlachodimos was a really good.
he was so like
servant to the
underrated. I
club.
feel like by Benfiquistas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar to how Turbine is kind of underrated by our coach at the moment, but yeah.
yeah, every game supposedly he makes no saves.
What do you mean? He didn't do anything. He's a good guy.
He makes
Guy
no
came up
save.
pretty big. Yeah.
But no, I think it's a very bad loss. And this takes me back to Mourinho, but like Flick plays his defensive line at midfield every single game,
It used to drive me crazy watching it last year.
and they get caught out like a ton of times.
Right.
And they concede. I mean, they score 4 goals, but they'll concede 3. Like
Right,
it's
right,
every
right,
game
right.
like that. That's how it was.
Unsustainable.
They took the lead against Inter late in the Champions League last year, and they conceded 2 goals in the last like 5 minutes and lost that tie,
Yeah.
and didn't make the final because of that. Even against Benfica, that game was like 5-3. Remember that
5-4.
crazy? Yeah, it was a crazy game, right?
Benfica was
5-4,
up
yeah.
like 4-2, I think.
Yeah,
or
and
something.
Barca scores 2 late goals.
For
right?
for last year's Benfica to score 4 goals on you, you have serious problems.
So like, but it's still the same thing.
That's fair.
And they ask Flick after the game, like, "Oh, what's going on?" He's like, "I'm just not going to change my style. That's who I am." But it's still like
That's
everybody.
Ruben Amorim-esque, yeah.
But like everybody gives Amorim like shtick for it, and this guy kind of like.
I mean, to
is
be fair though,
thrown
like
under the
Flick
bus.
has won more.
I mean,
You know,
sure.
like
Sure.
So like maybe he's
Amorim's won the Portuguese league when Porto and Benfica were much more well-equipped than
right,
Sporting
and
were.
that's fair. But like Flick won La Liga, right? Last
Flick
year?
won La Liga last year,
Yeah. So
but he was also like, I mean, you can't compare the team Barca was to the team that United is.
right,
And you
obviously,
can't compare
of
the
course.
league that Barca's in
Right,
to the
true,
league that
true.
United is in.
Yeah.
But I'm saying specifically, like, you know,
The stubbornness.
this is giving you problems. You're gonna stay with it.
Right.
Flick's system gives you defensive problems, but you score 1,000 goals, right? Like 75
live
goals.
with
Which for the league
So
it
you-
works usually.
Correct,
Right.
Like they're just gonna outscore you, and he knows that, right? Like, and I don't think he has a problem with it. He says like it's just what it is. Like,
Sometimes you catch the fluke,
Right,
and you
and
catch
so,
4
like-
on the bounce.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So like, is it a surprising result? 100%, because Sevilla hasn't been good in a couple years, right? But like, you look at it, and it's like Barca concedes a ton of goals, right?
Yeah.
So just
You
didn't
have to
score.
exploit, right?
They also didn't play without Lamine, and they lost. So that
Well,
takes
he's going to
away
be
from-
out for some time. He's got like a groin area injury.
Do you
It's
think
very
that comes
ambiguous.
from like overplaying a kid who's 16?
No, I think it comes from
Well,
his
now he's
birthday
like
party.
older, but right, true.
no.
From
No,
his,
but
off-field
genuinely, because like
festivities.
usually the amount of games that he plays is unheard of for a 16, 17-year-old just coming onto the scene and playing
course.
50-something games, including
I mean,
national team.
It never used to happen.
Do you think that like maybe that's what's catching up to him now?
Oh
And,
yeah,
like,
the kid is actually still growing. I'm sure.
Right.
He's so young, so young. So much of his life has been playing soccer nonstop.
Is he
Takes a
getting
toll on anyone.
Is he getting full recovery after games?
course,
and
the problem
right,
is
and
like-
those are the questions that need to be asked because then you run the risk of
Well, and I'm
potentially
saying, and I'm
further-
saying like both ways. Like, is he getting recovery himself in terms of?
all like
Like-
nightlife and
No. Well, that was the next thing. Like, is he going to, like, therapy for himself?
right.
So this is the sort
True.
of thing that makes Ronaldo and Messi even like timeless players well into their late 30s and 40s. Is that Ronaldo's obsessive about his like
Physical
routine,
condition,
his
right.
condition, and doing the right thing consistently. When you're young, and we remember being younger, before I messed my knee up, I did not have a major injury ever playing soccer. You feel like you're
Invincible?
Like, invincible, yeah.
Right,
like
right.
you could play soccer, you could play 4 tournament games on the weekend,
we used to play, yeah.
and be right
We
back
used to
into it
play
on
games on
Monday and
Saturdays,
Tuesday.
weekend, and
So
Sunday.
I think he's probably coming. He's a young man. He probably feels like he's on top of the world. It looks like he is when he plays football. So he needs to take that injury very seriously. Barca is also a team that recently has adopted weightlifting and stuff like that. So I think they've come a long ways in terms of like the science
And
behind
endurance
recovering
and-
and recovery and endurance. Teams are getting much better at these things.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So he needs to be performance-wise, like recovery in terms of gym and all this other stuff. And then whatever's going on off the field, we hear a ton of things. You don't know what's true and what's not true, right?
True.
So
I'm sure he's fine.
But
I think
exactly.
so too, right. Kid's 17.
He just
right.
needs to make sure, because I mean, he's going to be a Ballon d'Or winner
For
at some
sure,
point.
for sure.
That he stays on the track that he's at. The last thing you want to see is like Ansu Fati was kind of like
The same
tipped to be the next thing,
right.
and the first couple of years he was awesome. He was
the
never
first one to take the 10 after Messi,
he
right?
was
And,
he was
like,
never at the level Lamine was this past year.
For sure.
But like Fati now is playing on Monaco, and he was not playing on Barca last year or the year before.
Right.
Renato Sanches is another.
Yeah, right. So
Right.
like those are important
Tell-
things to do at this point.
There's nothing that a trip to Saudi can't fix. Go down
For
to
your
Saudi
pocket?
for your pocket and for
okay.
distractions. There's nothing really.
Right.
In
need
terms
some
of Ballon d'Or, I think there's 3 big candidates
Same.
so far this year. Harry Kane, Haaland, not Messi. Harry Kane, Haaland, and
Mbappe.
Mbappe.
Yeah.
Before we debate those 3, do you have anybody you think might be like a surprise shout come the end of the year?
Olise.
Really?
If they win the Champions League, yeah, I could see like a PSG level, like you know how the PSG has 5-6 guys. I think Olise, his numbers at the end of the year are going to be
fair shout.
superb. If they win the Champions League, for instance, you're going to see multiple Bayern players up
What if
there.
Arsenal wins the Champions League?
Honestly, Saka, yeah, he's
Jokic.
coming back from an injury. He's probably
Give it
their
to
most
Victor.
important guy. It won't be Jokic. You know what? If Arsenal wins like several championships this year, you might see a center back or something.
I was gonna say
Actually, Gabriel's probably their best, most important player.
Declan Rice?
Sure, it'd be like the Roger case, I guess.
I mean, he's their like talisman player. No, like makes
You know,
sense.
It would annoy me to see like Rice win a Ballon d'Or. Granted, he's awesome. In a Rodri case like that, if Vitinha didn't win it, like
Of course,
last year,
because also like
it's just
is
so
Rice the
different.
Ballon?
Yeah,
Like
right.
Ballon d'Or used to be so much more just who is the best player in the world. And granted, there's been like disappointments even in the 2000s when like Nedved won it and it should have been Henry or something. There's always these cases, right? But like it's become like almost like a composite
Popularity?
score. But yeah, it's popularity plus like where are the accolades, where are the goals and assists,
Correct.
where are the championships. Right now, who are the best players on the planet? It's Mbappe, it's Kane,
Right.
it's
My thing
Haaland.
with the Ballon d'Or is I feel like every year criteria changes for why you win. You know what I mean?
So, I
Like,
mean,
Like any major award is like that. The league MVP and the NBA is like that.
So I think Haaland has the World Cup against him
for sure.
because
which is a shame because like honestly, Haaland should have won the Ballon d'Or the year Messi won it for the World Cup
That's
because
a
he had
different
a
conversation.
ridiculous season that year.
Or the year that Rodri won it.
Or was no, it was the year.
It was
the year
the
before.
last
The year-
Messi.
Where
won
it was the first year he went to City. And
They won the
he
treble.
scored like 40-something goals or however many he scored.
So I
and
mean, I think the World Cup is going to work against him. I don't
Norway
see.
didn't qualify, right?
I don't see City going like deep into the Champions League this year. I mean, of course they might because they're.
Never know. Right?
I really think Harry Kane has a big chance to win Ballon d'Or this year.
England should be quite good. I think
I don't
Tuchel
think he will, though.
I think
Even
he
if
could.
even if he's the deserved one,
You don't think so?
I feel like Mbappe's still gonna get. He's the more poster child, like golden boy. You know, I don't know.
And then
I feel these
also-
these accolades are very corrupt and like they just pick.
I also think England's going to go farther than France in the World Cup.
They might. Tuchel's sensational coach.
And I think we talked about how important Champions League. I think Bayern has a much better chance to win Champions League than Madrid does.
Kane is
I mean,
really
like
good.
if Kane wins the Champions League in the league with Bayern, and then wins the World Cup.
The league's basically won.
If he finals in the World Cup and a team that
Correct.
does have a clear candidate wins, I think he's still first.
He's
That's
already.
fair.
He has some absurd goal and assist
He already
talent.
He has 19, I
19
think.
goals.
Right,
Bonkers.
He's going to score 50-something goals this year. Around there.
for sure.
He'll score 50-something goals. He'll get 20 assists probably, 18 to 20 assists.
Mhm.
And the season just started, right? So,
Right.
I mean, Mbappe is not far off. He has 16 goals, 3 assists.
I feel like
in 12 games.
Mbappe, because a lot of people were giving him flack last year because he kind of had that rough start, but then he quietly became like he's been playing there for years, you know. And he won
Yeah.
the Pichichi last year, no? Yeah. So I
He's-
don't know. I feel like he finally hit his stride in Madrid, and now who knows where he can reach? And I just think he's going to win because he's the more like marketable.
For sure. He has that
One,
working.
you know,
and,
like-
and many people will believe that Mbappe is, in fact, the best player in the world.
Right.
When you watch him play, he looks like
Right,
it.
right.
Kane has sort of a legacy thing working in his favor. Sort of like if I think Salah had won the
He's on
Champions
that
League
revenge tour.
last year. He's on that revenge tour. It's the first time
And
he's
playing
winning
in two
stuff.
positions, technically, if you really think about
And-
it.
and
'Cause,
that's where I was gonna
he's
go after
striker
that.
and center attacking midfielder.
He
and
played
like-
behind what's
Nicholas
his name? Jackson.
So
the other day.
he's adapting a completely different role where he's doing everything, and I just think he's a better overall player than both of them. He's a better passer than Mbappe. He's a better passer, way better passer than Haaland. So it's not even
Overall,
different.
and like, I would say even just overall football IQ, I would say he's sharper too.
Correct.
Like, not to say that Mbappe
brilliant
and
player.
Haaland aren't, but their IQ is more focused on just get into the box and like be a genius there. You know, where I feel like
So
honestly,
I
you could
really
put
said it
Harry
earlier.
Kane anywhere on the field. I feel like he would
Correct.
give you a decent performance.
But Rui said earlier, I think Haaland outside of the box is kind of like not useless, but
Right, but he's not as lethal.
you
and,
give him the
like,
ball outside the box, and
he's a little bit
It's the
rustier.
easiest place to defend him, right?
Right, right.
When he's in the box and he's
Without a clear,
attacking the-
straight
correct.
forward.
Mbappe
right.
can create more by himself than Haaland can, and Harry Kane obviously can too. But I think Harry Kane, along with the chance of Bayern doing some special things in the Champions League, they're going to win the league probably
Do you
by
think they will in
like,
the Champions League?
I think they have to be one of the favorites.
they're
think so?
they're very good, and I think they're going to make another signing in January.
Okay.
I don't know when. He's out for a while, right? Musiala, he got hurt in the summer.
Yeah, he had
He'll be out
for
for-
fractured
So
fibula. Right.
I still
Another
think
one,
they need it.
Playing too many games too young.
I still think
Keeper
that,
fell on his
that
foot.
was a
Yeah. It was a fluke, like
That was
just a crazy
Yeah,
injury.
crazy
Crazy.
injury.
Down the room.
It was a done room, yeah. But I think they still need another winger.
Left or right?
Right.
Like Olise cover? Or Diaz cover?
Or right winger, yes.
Okay.
Like Olise cover.
Olise
Gotcha.
cover.
I think Diaz just runs more. Like you could always just have him press more.
Mm-hmm.
And Olise kind of can play anywhere along the front too because he's just that good also.
Is Guerreiro still playing with them?
Yeah, he
And
scored the other
being
day.
Fantastic. That's so nice
And
to see.
I forgot. I messaged somebody. I was like, I always forget this guy is on Bayern Munich, and he scored the other
He's
day.
like a low-key, like a club legend at this point.
I checked their score in one of their games that I think it was in the Champions League against Pafos where they won 5 whatever. And I think he scored, and I'm like, wow, this guy is still on the
He's crazy.
team.
He's another one went Dortmund to Bayern.
I mean, anyone that was good on Dortmund goes to
Yeah.
Bayern.
Yeah, he reminds me of like the João Moutinhos of the world. My cousin ran into João Moutinho in the airport,
Really?
and I'm like crazy to think that João Moutinho's 38 years old. Braga was traveling to Scotland, where they went and won, I think, away to
beat Celtic, first Portuguese team ever
Really?
to beat Celtic.
You always come up with these amazing
I love it,
statistics.
yeah.
What was the other day you said that United had never lost
United never, and look, add another game to it. They never lose, and they're
up at
at
halftime?
Old Trafford
Yeah.
up at halftime.
Liverpool has won at Chelsea for
5 years, yeah, that was another one.
Mourinho has never lost when coaching Benfica and playing in Udrigão.
He's never beaten.
I love cherry picking.
He's never
statistics.
beaten Porto at the other go.
Another cherry pick statistic.
0 for 4.
Unbelievable.
So go ahead, just to circle back. Who do you think realistically is the shout for? You say Kane?
I think
for
Kane.
Ballon d'Or?
Kane is my vote. I
Yeah.
think Kane is going to get it.
Right now it's Kane as well for me.
I feel like he's the deserved one, but I still feel like Mbappe. If he continues the same projection he's on, no matter.